you is coming out of the Federal High Court Abuja on Monday has now adjourned the suit that was brought by the 12 detainees aides of Sunday Igboho, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, to August the 4th. According to Justice Iguato, that granted the applicant, the lawyer Pelumi Olagbanjese, the leave to amend its process to correct the names. I'll be telling you a little bit more about, while the names has been a bit of issue last week, the reason why, the DSS, and again, this is Star Radio UK, the morning show, and welcome to those of you that are joining us. The reason why, they were not brought to the court, the DSS says, the names that they have with them is actually different from the names that the lawyers have produced. But on Friday, the lawyer had opportunity to meet up with 4 out of those in the care of the DSS. But it seems the DSS, as you can imagine, after 31 days, not allowing, legal representative to meet up with them, these issues could have been verified, could have been clarified. But the names now is kind of a bit of mixture. And as you can see, only 8 of them were brought to the court, according to the information that we have. But right now, the court has now adjourned it to the 4th of August, which is just about, 2 more days from today, and then we will be expecting what will be the outcome of it as well. But let me come back again to you now in the studio. Again, this is Star Radio UK, the African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you. But Yomi, I remember that the judicial holidays has started in Nigeria. So how come that this judge is still sitting? What difference has it got in there?
Well, yes, it has started, but this is the option of the sitting judge to decide whether the court continue. As the case of Nnamdi Kanu, we saw that played out again. The DSS never brought Kanu to the court, and that court has now adjourned the case till the 20th of October, to give room for the learned judge that will be on holiday as well. But what I can say is, with this particular case, it seems, the judge is trying to get it as quickly as possible out of the way. And maybe, just maybe, these individuals could be able to get a bail out of the court, out of the hands of the DSS just before he might announce his own vacation. And that's probably why, the court case has now been moved to the 4th of August, which is just about 2 days from now.
But the other question I want to find out from there is, now, what justification has the DSS given for the 4 others who didn't appear? Why were they not there? And what about the 2 bodies of the people who were killed in the premises of Sunday? What account have they given about that?
Well, the DSS is quite, if you look at a terrible situation in Nigeria where, rule of law is not respected, you might want to ask yourself, who is actually in charge? Is it the order from the above? Is the DSS now more powerful than the court itself? The excuse, from what I know from the background of the case, since when we've been following it, is because of the names that have been in the hands of the DSS, and as at the name that was produced in the court by the official that representing these 12 individuals. That is the reason why we've not been able to see that taking place. But let's hope within the next 48 hours before coming back to court, DSS would have to bring every one of them that was taken away on the 1st of July right at the house of Chief Sunday Igboho, at his residence when an assassination attempt was taken on his life, in as much as he escaped it as well.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, bringing you updates from Nigeria. But let me acknowledge, please, Simon, please, good morning and thank you very much. I had a good weekend, tiring but was good, and hope that you also did. It says that terrorism, banditry in Nigeria is government agenda. UK Parliament says that's what Apisa posted there. It's a very good morning to you, Koiki. You welcome on board. Really missed you. And Anthony Adediji just gives a thumbs up this morning. Anthony, I hope you are doing very well. And Fasasi Ramon, he says, good morning, Mr. Koiki. Okay then. So Yami, let's move on to some of the other stories that is making the rounds. Over to you.
Once again, if you've just joined us, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Remember to follow us on www.starradiouk.com, where you can get all the latest news and what is happening from around the globe as well. Also, the best way to enjoy and follow all the what we do on Star Radio UK is to download the apps on Star Radio UK. Also, if you're sending money home, remember to use Send Waves and remember to use the code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. Let's now go into some of the other headlines coming out of Nigeria this morning. Last week, quite a lot took place, but because I was not on air, last week, we were unable to report some of those proceedings last week. But what I will be able to say is we will give as much as what we have today, and then maybe on Wednesday, during the Niger Voices, I will go through some of those proceedings, especially a lot of people that would like to know what has been happening in Benin Republic in terms of, the latest on Chief Sunday. But what I can say is he's still in the custody of the Beninese, in Benin. At the moment, he's been held there because on Monday, when we thought, we will be getting an outcome of the case, apparently, the sitting went for quite a very long time, for up to about 11 o'clock midnight. But unfortunately, what came out is, according to the solicitor, was the Benin have now charged him, for getting into the country, through, probably an illegal way. But we will have to find out why, because if Benin is a ECOWAS country, and he was only moving from, the attack on his house out of the country. But all that we'll be discussing maybe on Wednesday as well, and we'll be giving more information. I've spoken to the team on the ground as of this morning, but all I can say is, there is not latest any information. But as soon as we have those information, we'll be giving it to all our listeners and viewers on Star Radio UK, which is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go straight into some of the other headlines as well. Petrol subsidy may gop up 2 trillion naira this year, according to Rain Oil Boss. Also, Nigerian loan from the World Bank and African Development Bank has now risen to 14.35 billion. I was looking at a kind of a statistics, and let me see if I can pull that up quickly. This was a comparison of when Jonathan was in power and, since, these APC government took power as well. And let's go straight to some of those statistics. What I can tell us, according to when Obasanjo was there, these are the debt status under Obasanjo regime. In 1999, Obasanjo, the external debt was $28 billion. The domestic debt was 0.75 trillion at the fixed rate of 98.2. In 2000, that also went again to just about some few $billion. The external debt rose to 28.27 billion US dollars, as the domestic debt was also 0.8898 trillion naira. The fixed rate again was 100.6. Let's now move forward before Obasanjo left. In 2002, the external debt was 23.51 billion US dollars. Let's now move forward and look at, according to what we have now, the debt status under this country, under the government of Buhari. In 2015, when Buhari came down, after Jonathan left the power, the external debt was 7.35 billion US dollars, while our domestic debt was 8.84 trillion at the fixed rate of 197. In 2017, as you might thought, that went up again to 7.84 billion US dollars, which is the external debt, as the domestic debt now rise by almost 4 trillion naira to 11.6 trillion. I can tell you now, in 2017, our external debt is now at the value of 14.8 billion US dollars. And again, the domestic debt have risen up by another 1 trillion naira, which is now 12.5 trillion. These are the the statistics. And in the last 21 years, let's now break it down. from 1999 to 2007 at about this is the exchange rate, 116 naira to $1. But today, if you're buying the dollar, you're paying about 381. This is not available in the bank, so you might have to buy it from the black market. So again, you can see the difference. This morning, if you're sending money home to your loved ones, is about 705 naira to a pound, which indicate that the country is really going to drain. And the reason for all this is because when you're not producing, you're actually consuming. And as a country that is consuming, if you're not producing, you do not have enough forex to play with. And that is probably why, the exchange rate continue to drain as well. I'm going to take one more, then come back straight to you in the studio. Once again, not going well with the, with the commissioner for police, the deputy commissioner for police in Nigeria. I'm sure you've probably been following, that story as well, since I've not been available for a couple of days as well. Let me just give us a kind of a background to what we know. There's a young man or a young Nigerian that was picked up in Dubai, for fraud, for fraud of tune of millions of dollars of dollars rather. He's currently in America where the court case is going as we speak. But something has popped up which has generated quite a lot of conversation within the Nigerians and those outside the country as well. And this is, the indictment of the suspension of the DCP Abba Kaira. Who is Abba Kaira? He's known as a super cop in Nigeria, but unfortunately, it seems he has digged his hand into some kind of other conversation and a kind of money laundry, according to the court case that we have. But yesterday, that come up with a suspension. So now, as the 4-man special investigation panel begins the probe, the Inspector General of Police, the IGP Usman Akaila Baba, has recommended the immediate suspension of the DCP Abba Kaira, who is the head of the Police Intelligence Response Team from the Service of Nigerian Police Force, pending the outcome of an ongoing internal investigation touching on him. According to the IGP in his letter to the Police Service Commission dated 31st of July, noted that the recommendation for the suspension of the officer is in line with the internal disciplinary process of the force. I'll be giving more background of the case, but for now, let me come back again to you in the studio. This is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you. Those of you sending information or messages through, please do your best to send them through. Peace Diamond says 14.35 trillion naira loan. Wow. And we still think that Nigeria isn't sold out yet. I think myself and Peace, we are going to buy Nigeria if that is the case. But let me acknowledge a couple of people who have joined us, and then we can look into some of the stories as well. Olu Fowobi Abiodun Ismaila is blowing more love to us. Yes, and we also receive it. We blow more to you. Yeah, okay. And then let me say good morning to, he says morning to you as well. It's Olaimi Koiki, Olukoya Adesola. Okay, and Ibrahim Aliu says, good morning, sir. Olukoya says, can you, okay, Doc, I've sent you the studio text and WhatsApp number so you can forward your message to us. Okay, so those are some of the people that I wanted to recommend, acknowledge on the program this morning. But we still have Mr. Olaimi Koiki. But Yomi, let's quickly look at one of the stories which you have promised that we're going to look into detail on Wednesday on the Niger Voice. That pertains to Sunday Igboho's court appearance. Now, interestingly, how come now the Beninois charging him with he coming into the country illegally? As you said, it's an ECOWAS country, so citizens are able to move freely. Has the border in Nigeria between Nigeria and Benin been opened?
Well, I mean, there's movement between people between those two countries. So that means people are moving freely. So even if the border was closed, it wasn't closed to the movement of the people. If it was close to the movement of the people, you could have actually said he has moved into Benin illegally. But again, we must remember that he was running away from his life. This was a life that was almost, terminated on the 1st of July after the assassination attempt that led to the 12 people that has done, become in the, in the hands of the DSS for almost 32 days today. I mean, just a month, last month, 1st of July, today, 2nd of August, Chief Sunday Igboho's house was attacked at the middle of the night without any search warrant by machineries, the DSS and the Nigerian government, to kill him. He was running away from his, for his life. Yes, the DSS has put him as a wanted, and that was why he was stopped. It was stopped not because, according to what the Benin, the prosecutor says, he was not stopped for committing any crime, as at the time when the first court case appearance took place and his wife was released. But when we went back to court on Monday, it was quite a different story entirely. They wanted to know how long he has spent in Benin. He said he has been there only a couple of, the first day, moving into Benin and then trying to get out, from there. But it seems, again, it might be maybe, that they want to do a background check, but we will find out more, after 2 weeks that was given as at the time of the last court appearance. So we will be waiting for more update from Benin. But like I said, I've spoken to the team on the ground this morning, and all I can say is more information will be given to us as soon as they have it as well. Okay, listeners, that's a bit there for you. We needed that clarity because we need to know that Sunday Igboho is receiving the fairest treatment when it comes to the judicial in Benin. Okay, so now let's look at some of the other stories, sir. Well, over the weekend, it was quite a big one. Again, as you can imagine, there's a lot of protest that is taking place. I was able to attend the one that took place right on the Saturday that just passed in central London, where there was between the Biafra and the Oduduwa, and that procession took place right from the Parliament all the way straight to number 10 Downing Street. Speeches were given, movement went straight to Nigerian High Commission, and from there they moved straight to the BBC headquarters in London, where speeches were also delivered. And what was the purpose of going to BBC was because a lot of those individuals believe that BBC does not report the genocide, the atrocity, the human that has become something that a lot of Nigerians worried. Why, if they are paying their TV license as Nigerians here in the UK, yet BBC refused, to get the message out as well. So that was the reason why, that procession went from, after the Nigerian High Commission straight down to the BBC headquarters as well. It's exactly 11:30. Again, this is still Star Radio UK. So I'm going to go straight to what is trending on Twitter. Let us still remind our followers and our friends that are, friends of Star Radio UK, that the president is still in London taking medical attention, while we'll ask the question, what has happened to the medical facility in Abuja, the millions of naira that have been spent there, but yet, according to the media aid of the president, he would rather prefer to be in UK because these are the doctors he has used for the last 40 years. So that means the last 40 years that Buhari has been coming to London, the medical system in Nigeria has become more, unuseful for him, because if he has been coming to UK, just as so many politicians, whether the current or the past, prefer to get medical attention in Germany, America, Canada, but yet left Nigerians in a situation where oxygen is not available inside the hospital as well. And as I speak today, I can also confirm that LASU, which is the Lagos State University, is actually going on strike as well. These are part of the reason why people like us, my opinion believes that the country is no longer working, and it is time that we disintegrate so that we can have proper medical attention done to the people, and people can be taken care of as well. So again, let's now look at those trending news on Twitter this morning. Don't sack House officer, NYSC doctors, Medical Guild tells the Lagos State government. This is coming, from the tweet as well. This is coming from Adetutu Balogun at Tutsi 22 about an hour ago. APC investment in the abroad health sector. Buhari spending Nigerian money in the UK, receiving medical checkup, Tinubu spending Lagos money in the US. He had a surgery last week, partially in coma, awaiting another surgery. And one medical secessionist gang. You know, you can see that a lot of Nigerians are not happy that the president is here in UK taking the finest and the best medical attention, while those at home are not being taken care of when it comes to medical attention as well. Also, let's look at some of those other trending on Twitter. Abba Kyari has been trending since last week when the FBI indicted him, you know, for this allegation of, between himself and, Abbas Rahman, known as Hush Puppy, that was picked up in Dubai for tune of millions of dollars, fraudulent wired money, and that is the reason why Abba Kyari has been trending. He said it was just a tailor that was helping him to get outfit done in Nigeria, but it doesn't seem the other way around. So suspension of Abba Kyari, not enough. Extradite him to US for trial. Nigerian react to the police chief department. That is coming, from some of those, tweets as well. Let's look at one more from the Abba Kyari story. Again, Hush Puppy. Okay, let's take this one. Abba Kyari lied. He collected 8 million naira to jail Chibuzo for Hush Puppy until he almost died in custody. Hush Puppy, let me just give a bit of background to that. Hush Puppy, like I said, is currently, being held by the Americans, for wired and money laundering and all kind of, fraudulent activities that he has committed. I mean, he was a kind of a celebrity on Instagram, putting out, all kind of his wealth. But we now find out that those wealth were not legitimate. They were stolen money from individuals that have been working for it. But there was now another case between this Hush Puppy and Chibuzo. Chibuzo also was in a kind of a crime, but Hush Puppy was not happy that Chibuzo was trying to take his customer, as you might want to think of. So, as someone that knows someone, Hush Puppy decided to get in touch with Abba Kyari back in Nigeria and requested that Chibuzo be picked up and be dealt with because he has actually crossed his way. You will expect, the police to have done the right thing by asking what could have led to that. But rather than so, money was exchanged, information was exchanged, and that is why Abba Kyari is now in the picture as well. But by the time he released his own statement some few days ago, he said, well, the money was only sent so that he can get an outfit for him back in Dubai. So that is why he's trending. I'm going to take one more. Buhari is trending as well. And let's go straight and take one more from Ilana Omo Odua on their Twitter feed this morning. Once again, this is still Star Radio UK. The 2nd of August 2021 is exactly 11:34 a.m. My name is Koiki, and this is what is coming from Ilana Omo Odua on their Twitter and just about some few minutes ago. Stupidity is when you give them your land to set up cattle colonies while they build inland dry port railways in their own land. Unity is not by force, it is earned. And I'll take one more from them as well. And this says, ethnic cleansing in the Middle Belt continue, which is what we said this morning. Herdsmen kill 4, raises 50 houses in Plateau. The police have confirmed at least 4 persons have died, 50 houses raised in a renewed clash between the herdsmen and those in the Middle Belt. I'll come back now to you in the studio before we start winding it down.
Yes, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. Mr. Olaimi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. But let me acknowledge a couple of people who have also joined us. Oyadele Adiza, good morning to you. Tofik Wasiu, love light, okay? And then Ahmed Wasiu says that, look, even though the Nigerian doctors are on strike today, the 2nd of August, we have the president here, just chilling in the nice...
and information says it's not even in Abuja house. It seems it's hiding somewhere, but we'll try and find that out and then we'll bring that to our followers and listeners on Star Radio UK. We've been given an address and we'll be checking on that address very soon to find out, is the president, living in a different house as against the official address that is meant to be staying, which is the Abuja house.
Well, the Abuja house, people will lay out. That's right. But Adeyola Diamond Israel says, Metiala in another strategy to cause another genocide in Southwest by trying to proscribe
Afenifere. Yeah, I saw that news as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be bringing you more on that details. But Yomi, as per the demonstrations or that you went for over the weekend, the IPOP threatened. I think last week, because we were not on one.
Yeah, they'll be going on. I think some in the next couple of days. I think next week, if I'm right, they'll be going off the grid in Southeast. And what I mean by that is, they'll be closing down the whole of Southeast. Every Monday until Nnamdi Kanu, their leader, is free out of the custody of the Nigerian government.
But how plausible is that?
Well, you got to remember that IPOB has quite a lot of strong followership, not just outside the country, but quite a lot inside the country as well. And if you look at the last one that we could remember was when there were there was this message from Nnamdi Kanu then that they should all sit down at home. That order took effective, and I can assure you, not one person was out there, and that sometimes could crumble the whole economy of that state, especially if you remember that some of these states are not viable, they are not making a lot of money. So every one day close out of a week means a lot. So yes, they have the capability to give that order, and those at home listen to those order. I can assure you that.
Wow. Okay, we keep fingers crossed, and we'll be looking at that as well, because we know that the open grazing time is due. Because it's in August that they wanted to do that open grazing. That those in the southwest are also saying that don't bring anybody there. You dare bring people there. And that has caused Sunday Igboho's, because he was saying, no, that cannot happen. That cannot happen. But we'll be looking into all those stories tomorrow or during the course of the week. Now, what other story do you have for us before we bring the conversation to a close?
Well, what I can say is that, make sure you continue to tune in to Star Radio UK, and you can also follow me on my own social media handles, where we'll be going back, to some of our headlines and news. I'll be giving so much information as well. There was a report that I was reading this morning, and you can imagine, how a country like Nigeria, the terrorists, even though the country tends not to call them terrorists, had the capability to bring down the Nigerian Air Force jet. I mean, this is not an ordinary aircraft. I mean, you're talking about an Air Force jet. So according to the news here, which will be our last headline from here, identity of the Zamfara terror kingpin who downed the Nigerian Air Force jet. The fighter jet was brought down by the men of Kachalik gang near Kabaru village, located some 15 kilometers west of Danzubdua town. According to what we have here, a notorious terror kingpin operating around Danzuba axis of the vast Kambanda forest, Ali Kancha, is the one responsible for the recent shooting down of the Nigerian Air Force Alpha jet, according to the media back in Nigeria. The forest is straddled between Zamfara, Kebbi, Kaduna, and Niger State. When the military jet was down through the use of heavy artillery power on the June the 18th, no details were available about the incident from both the official and the unofficial sources, and nothing much came out of them. Therefore, the gang of the bandit responsible for the shooting down the jet was not known. But talking to the locals, according to the security personnel and other persons with the understanding of the happenings in the areas troubled by the rural banditry, the newspaper gathered that Ali Kachala, a shrewd terrorist with hideout in the forest, mastermind that operation. So you can see that, if care is not taken, they might start taking down more aircraft if they have the capability to take down a Nigerian Air Force jet.
Well, that is worrying, but we hope that their leadership are listening to it so that they can prioritize things. Well, in my view, they look at things, other things that they shouldn't be going after. That's the one that they go after. But the ones that are actually threatening the existence of Nigeria, they are not doing that. But well, you can continue to send your comments through whether you want to text it or WhatsApp it, or you want to post it on our Facebook page. As Yomi said, do your best and continue to join us on that platform. But Yomi, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful time once again.
We'll be back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock. This is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean station in London. Don't touch the dial, as Archie will take you through the remaining segment of the program. From me, I say bye for now.
Bye-bye, Yomi. Okay, listeners, that was Mr. Olaimi Koiki. We take this song tune from the late Rasky Mono. And it sums up what is going on in Nigeria at the moment. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
I'll be back later on. I've got to go now, but I'll definitely be back for more updates, especially, I'm sure some of you have been following what is happening in Abuja. We'll be giving you more insight of that. We hope to be back with our program sometime later on soon. My name is Koiki, and I say a very good morning to those of you that are watching on this platform. Bye for now.